welcome to our latest episode of the Preceptorship podcast. Today we're coming to you from Worthing Hospital. I'm Gemma.
And I'm Harry.
And
we're your hosts. Today on this episode we are exploring preceptorship as a nursing associate. And today we have the lovely Kerry with us.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you
for being a guest on our podcast this week.
It's okay.
Are you happy to just tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey through preceptorship?
Yeah. So I registered as a trainee nurse associate in 2017. I was the second cohort of nursing associates to come through the trust.
Yeah.
It was quite a challenge at that point.
It was all very new.
It was very new. Even the university didn't really know what things they needed to get involved in. And then after, obviously, I qualified, we went on to do a year's worth of preceptorship, which was really informative. We had various different courses that we went on. We had talks, we did sims, and I found that was really useful, and I made some good friends in preceptorship as well.
That's good. Yeah. I would imagine from what you said about the challenges of being that second cohort and forging your role, having your preceptorship with other newly registered nurses, did you find that useful?
I did.
Sharing?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And as I said to you, I made some friends. One was on the ward next door to me, and we still, even though he's moved away now, I still remain friends with him.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Just because we'd seen each other,
Yeah.
and then we were like glued together as friends because he wanted some support and I wanted some support, and it was just lovely.
Yeah.
You know, to have different people. And like I say, then you're learning a little bit about how the band fives work in preceptorship as well.
Yeah.
So that was really handy.
Would you say that was beneficial for the new role as a nurse associate
Definitely,
as well?
yeah, because the role wasn't as black and white as it is now. So there were a few changes that were made after my cohort because COVID came in and
just to add things to the mix there. Yeah.
Yeah, the last 8 months of my uni time was in COVID time, so it became quite difficult to then be doing things over Teams, and no one was prepared, and everything was quite lastminute.com. So to get after that and get back into doing preceptorship was nice to be amongst people again, rather than doing things over Teams. So that was another benefit that I found, is actually being with people.
I mean, I obviously remember leading those Teams sessions.
Absolutely.
Sometimes if people didn't put their camera on, you're like,
are they even listening?
And nobody's talking to me because everyone's sort of unfamiliar with the camera and everything. And it was interesting times, wasn't it?
You know, I always put my camera on.
You did, yeah. I remember seeing you, yeah.
Oh, I mean.
And that's what you said as well with the nurse associates that are coming through now. There's a lot more sort of
that want to stay fours, that don't want to top up.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's about creating that role that you are and having that differentiation, which is
absolutely
brilliant, and teamwork, isn't
absolutely,
it?
yeah. I want to stay a four. I'm not very academic.
I wouldn't say that.
I'm not good at writing. If I do, I write a story. That's my problem. So it was a bit of a struggle for me towards the end of the degree. I did struggle a little bit mentally. I felt that I wasn't coping very well. But I got there, and you know, practically there's no problems. It's just writing. You know, and that's what I struggled with, and it did stress me out because I wanted to do well. But you know, we got through it, and from that I've managed to help other people.
Yeah, you're an experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Do you think, for people that don't know, maybe you could explain the difference between a band 4 and a band 5 briefly?
So within our trust, and it does vary. I mean, I'm on a few different websites where different trusts are putting in input about nursing associates, and some of them do a different role completely. On a ward here in our trust, we still take a bay of patients, like a band 5 would. The only thing that we don't do is take charge. discharge, and do IVs.
Yeah, because it's about that assessment, isn't it? You work
It
with
is.
the evaluation of care,
Yeah.
but not that assessment, and that's where that teamwork really...
Absolutely, and we always work under, normally our band 6, the nurse in charge will take control of the 4s that are on the ward,
Yeah, that's
and
great.
do the IVs and anything else that's needed. So we sort of managed quite well,
Yeah,
actually.
that's really good to hear.
Really good.
And I know reading online that a few places do struggle with where to put your band 4s. But since coming off of the ward, I've actually come off the ward and semi-retired, I still have made myself a role in outpatients and doing stuff for matrons as well. So, you know, who knows? Who knows what band 4s... Well, you know, we've got that clinical experience, you know, so we have the underpinning knowledge towards doing certain things, so why not utilise us in those areas?
Yeah, I'd say what I really admire about you, Kerry, is how you really took that, you know, being that only one in your role in that preceptorship time, but it wasn't about you being you weren't on your own. You were a team linking in with all the other band 5s as well, because you are on that journey.
Absolutely.
Still, that transition from student, you were saying something about a bubble.
Yeah, because we had our own little group of people and we would rely on you guys if we needed support. You'd come and make sure we were okay on the ward.
Yeah.
And it's all that sort of encouragement that you need when you're starting out, because you are nervous, you don't want to make mistakes.
Definitely.
And I remember at a couple of points, perhaps, you know, feeling a little bit like over my head.
Yeah.
Because it was COVID, you know,
You had a lot of things to contend with.
you know, we were all locked down, half the team were working on ITU. It was very tough times. So, you know, without the support of the team that I had around me, which were amazing, I've got to say, and practice development and my management, it made it a lot easier. And by having it so easy, I was able to help others in the same situation.
That's what helps with that transition once you qualify, isn't it? And then, although there is a little bit of protected time within preceptorship and that supernumerary period, it's slightly different working with your preceptor. Did you have a preceptor in your area?
Not at that time, no.
You just had a very good support.
I had a very good support network. Yeah, my management was brilliant, and the nurses, the band 5s around me were brilliant as well. Gave me a lot of support. Yeah, definitely. Helped me out, you know, if I needed anything. And you know, as I say, because I was on a surgical ward, there was a lot of IVs, and I did feel at some points that I wasn't helpful enough. And that sort of frustrated me a little bit. But you know, those guys just took it on board and they were absolutely superb. It was like, well, this is the role, this is what Kerry's going to be, and this is what we have to do for her.
And that's what it is, isn't it? It's that structure.
Yeah, and
everybody, and without that, it's...
Absolutely, and if my nurse in charge was busy, you know, and she was doing my IVs, then I would try and back up and do something for them later on, if it was, you know, phoning for transport or, you know, anything like that. So it's a bit of give and take, isn't it?
I read this quote earlier by Zig Ziglar, who is a motivational speaker and author, who said, "You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great." And that made me reflect on what you just said about not feeling academic. You might not feel it, but you started, and I think you're great, just so you know.
Thanks. Thank you for that. I love that quote as well.
Like a
That's
little
a
bit
good
of motivational speech there.
I do love that.
No, it's a great quote.
Very
true.
Just to sort of finish up, what would be your biggest bit of advice for somebody coming to the end of their nurse associate training, about to register?
I think go ahead, enjoy your preceptorship. You know, it is there for you to actually, you know, put your thoughts forward as well. And at certain times, you know, practice development offered us, is there anything else that you want us to do? That's such a handy thing, because people are frightened to go, I wasn't sure about that. It's a case of having that support all the way round, and, you know, find your friends in there as well, because they really do help out.
find your friends and ask.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
Thank you so much, Kerry, for coming today.
You're very welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you for
really
asking me.
appreciated it. And we'll see you guys next time.